as I mentioned, we're focusing on your health today. And with summer here, that means more time outside. And with traveling, yard work, or chasing the kids around, unfortunately, it's also a time when we see more injuries. So here to help us prevent injuries or treat them is Dr. Yash Mehta, Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine and Sports Medicine with VSI in Reston. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So summertime, is it really the time when we're seeing more injuries?
Yeah, we're seeing more injuries because I think naturally when the weather gets colder in the winter, we all go into a little bit of hibernation mode, right? It's too cold, I'm not that motivated, it's dark, so I don't want to do as much. Then the weather gets better, and then we tend to become weekend warriors. And so, you know, during the week, even as a physician, I'm seeing patients all week, but I'm spending a lot of time sitting or at a desk, not really moving as much. Then the weekend comes around, my wife's like, hey, remember that list of chores I gave you? Or the kids are like, let's go bike ride. And we're doing things that we haven't done throughout the week. And you know that saying, like, if you build it, it will come.
Yeah.
But we haven't really built it, right? And so we're not like, you know, if you don't use it, you lose it is another saying. And so if we haven't trained our body, trained the muscles to take on that load actively during the week, the body doesn't differentiate Saturday versus Monday. And so it's just like, hey, you haven't tested me out all week. I can't live up to this expectation on a Saturday.
Right. Wow, that's a great way to describe it. And now I'm feeling guilty because that's me. I'm here
That's
all
all
week
of
and
us.
then I overdo it on the weekend.
Yeah.
Also, maybe I'm not stretching as much as I should be. A lot of people, maybe, do they skip that? They think, I'm just going for a walk or I'm just going to do some work in the yard. How important is that warm up?
For sure. And I think you're right. You know, when I play sports, like if I'm going to go play basketball or volleyball, I have a warm up routine. But if I have to go mow the lawn or do something, I don't think about a warm up. But it doesn't matter the amount of physical activity. Like I said, if you're a weekend warrior, your body is going to feel it like it's a workout. And so the analogy I tell my patients is you're not going to go into a test or a job interview without preparing, right? You're not just going to go and wing it. And so this is similar. It may not require the same amount of warm up, but you still need to maybe get up, stretch a little bit, go for a quick 1-minute walk before you mow the lawn, or do some shoulder circles, some hip circles, because the heart is still strained. Because if you're just sitting all week and then you're doing anything, or a yard work, so you're bending, repetitive bending and lifting, you're not lifting heavy weights, but you're still putting that force on your back. It's repetitive forces or a lot of load on your heart. Your body feels it the same. It's not discriminating between an Ironman workout or even a moderate workout versus yard work.
Right. So to your body, you're like, hey, this is way too much.
Yeah.
And we're all, you know, some of us are getting a little older too, right? It's not like we're doing these heavy lifting stuff in our teens.
All the time, yeah. And even yard work, right? Like I was plucking the weeds and then I was like, oh, my back's a little stiff because I know how to lift a box, but when I'm plucking the weeds, when it's less than a pound, I'm not thinking, okay, I'm having bad ergonomics or bad posture.
Right.
But that repetitiveness after 20, 30 minutes, I'm like, okay, now my back's a little stiff because, okay, I didn't treat it like a workout, but actually for my body, because I'd been sitting all day at a desk, my back felt it like a workout.
Yeah,
you know?
that's a great point. Talk to us about hydration, right? It's summertime, we're thirsty, but it's not just quenching our thirst. What does, you know, hydrating do to recovery and for our muscles?
Yeah, so hydration, I kind of treat it as, I don't know the exact saying, but you know, in an interview or whenever you go somewhere, it's like, if you're on time, you're late, and if you're late, you're super late or whatever.
Right,
if you're
right,
early, and hydration.
If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late.
You're late, exactly,
Yeah.
sorry. And so hydration's kind of like that. Sometimes I feel like you go for a workout or you're thirsty, you play basketball and you're like, man, I lost a lot of water today, I need to catch up. You got to be on top of it. And so when my recommendation is, if you know you're going to go for a run or you know you're going to play sports, you start in the morning and you have to hydrate throughout the day regularly, because otherwise you're playing catch up and then you're not really filling the tank. And hydration is important because that hydration, you're helping to lubricate the joints, putting some fluid into the discs. You're helping to increase your circulation and your recovery. You're flushing out the toxins. The muscles are easier to stretch if they're hydrated. So there's all these components. And so you want to obviously recover with electrolytes. But again, you have to do it actively way before you start, throughout the event, and even afterwards versus people think, oh, it's just during and after.
Right. Really, really great advice. I wish we had way more time because you're offering such really great advice.
Yeah.
I should say, if someone hurt themselves, they should probably go see a specialist like yourself.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much for
course.
being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. For all these tips and more, follow VSI on Instagram at VSI_spine.